Farm Week is a production of the Mississippi State University Extension Service.
Today on Farm Week, we have two feature stories for you. We'll travel to South Mississippi, where Owen Brothers Logging works a small crew, but it's well known for leaving the land in great shape.
In our Southern Gardening segment today, Gary Botman says don't sing the blues when you're looking for true blue flowers.
They can be found.
In our first feature story, salad tables. The Pine Belt Master Gardeners are finding these tables are becoming really popular in nursing centers, youth programs, and simply around the house.
After we got the media exposure, we've got a lot of phone calls, and then that's how we started the project with the Palmer's Crossing Community Center and other individuals who we brought them to their houses who are either recovering stroke victims, or they just like to garden standing up.
Good day, everyone. I'm Leighton Spann.
And I'm Artist Ford. Welcome to Farm Week.
Today, it's an all-feature edition of our show.
Leighton, when the gardening bug bites you, it's an interest that can last a lifetime. In our first feature story, see how the Pine Belt Master Gardeners and Mississippi State University Extension Service are using salad tables and raised beds to bring the joy of gardening to nursing center residents and physically handicapped people. They found these raised beds are also popular with students, youth programs, and those who simply like to garden. Today's feature story takes us to Hattiesburg and Purvis in Forest and Lamar counties. It first aired on Farm Week last September.
A lot of people have not only the handicap, but people have found out it's a lot better to garden standing up. And one thing, you don't have to worry about as many weeds.
Paul Cavanaugh of Purvis, Mississippi is speaking about salad tables. The name comes from the fact salad greens are often grown in them. It's a cross between raised bed and container gardening. Raised bed gardens are usually built on the ground. A salad table raises the soil off the ground so those who can't kneel can still garden from wheelchairs or standing up.
If you have 27 inches of clearance between the ground and the bottom of the table, that is the correct height for a wheelchair. If you have it 32 inches, you can use these devices called a rollator that people push who have back problems, and then could sit down in it. And so we adjust the heights according to what they're going to be needed for. It started with an email from a master gardener named Cindy Payne from Knoxville, Tennessee. Her mother was here in this nursing home. Her mother loved gardening, and she wanted to have a way for her to continue gardening. So she contacted us, wanted to know if that would be a project we'd be interested in.
The Pine Belt Master Gardeners constructed the salad tables on site for residents of Wyndham House Nursing Center of Hattiesburg. Rust-proof aluminum screen and hardware cloth were attached to the bottom of the cypress wood frame. This holds up the bedding material and keeps you from overwatering. The tables have proven to be an idea with many applications.
After we got the media exposure, we've got a lot of phone calls, and then that's how we started the project with the Palmer's Crossing Community Center and other individuals who we brought them to their houses who are either recovering stroke victims, or they just like to garden standing up.
Container gardening or the raised bed gardening has really started taking off here locally, as well as, all over the place really, just because of the sheer economics of it and the labor involved, much less labor than traditional garden.
The salad tables have also benefited vocational technology students in Lamar County. Cavanaugh says the original salad table design he found on the internet had problems. The Pine Belt Master Gardeners got in touch then with Ken McCoy, a construction technology teacher at the Lamar County Technical Center. McCoy improved on the design and suggested the salad tables could be a valuable teaching project for his students. McCoy also hooked the Master Gardeners up with Acadia Hardwoods of Ponchatoula, Louisiana, who supplied the cypress lumber at a discount.
And it's good for our students too here at the Technical Center. They learn how to measure, cut, put things together, and it's a good learning tool for them. It makes them feel good that knowing that they're doing a project for the community to help.
The next stop for the salad tables was the summer youth program at the Danny Hinton Palmer's Crossing Community Center. There was excitement as the children worked with the Pine Belt Master Gardeners and learned how food is grown.
Because they go to the store and they go to Walmart and they buy vegetables. Their parents buy them, of course, but they don't know where they come from. So this was an opportunity for them to actually take part in this program and actually see how the vegetables, if it's tomatoes, how they grow, how to pick them.
The Pine Belt Master Gardeners are part of more than 1,600 Master Gardeners statewide. The Mississippi State University Extension Service program is offered in 54 counties at this time. To become a Master Gardener, a person receives 40 hours of horticulture training and then agrees to give 40 hours of volunteer service back to the program. In 2012, Mississippi Master Gardeners volunteered almost 51,000 hours, worth more than $1 million.
And they also go out and do educational programs on different topics. So they're speakers, not only doing hands-on projects, but they are giving educational programs out in the community. So it's very beneficial for Extension.
And our house in Colorado, New York, I've always gardened, and so I was missing that. So the Master Gardener program was a way that I could learn about gardening, learn about it in Mississippi, and then have someone else's dirt to dig in, and it was good fun.
Tina Haley of Hattiesburg is also a Pine Belt Master Gardener. Her work with the salad tables convinced her she needed some. She roots cuttings in them as well as growing edible plants.
I do have other herbs out in lower pots and out in the ground, but those I need to weed a lot more. And I can't really see them like I can see this. I can't harvest them the same way. Yeah, it's been great fun.
Less weeding is a big advantage of raised bed and container gardening. The bedding material in the salad table also warms up faster in the spring and stays cooler, allowing crops like lettuce to grow longer. John Monroe of Purvis has his own take on raised bed gardening. He has tall sides on his beds with a rail to sit on. Monroe fills the beds with sand and then adds 6 to 8 inches of bedding material on top. He even double crops.
Like this spring I had Irish potatoes and followed by squash and okra, and does real well. And a lot of times you can plant earlier because these beds warm up sooner.
Monroe's arbor grows hundreds of pounds of tomatoes each year. The plants are placed in containers on platforms, each with its own water supply. His best year?
2011 would probably be the best year, when we had, I think we harvested 625 pounds of tomatoes here in my backyard.
Monroe is the Lamar County Soil and Water Conservation District's conservationist. He says the proliferation of raised beds and salad tables in the area shows how much can be accomplished when agencies work together.
We work hard to develop partnerships with folks like Extension Service and our traditional partners like NRCS and Master Gardeners. They just help us so much when it comes to spreading the news about conservation education.
You can also watch this feature story on salad tables and raised beds on our Farmweek website, Facebook page, or YouTube. Our website address is farmweek.msucares.com. We're also available at twitter.com/farmweek. You can also learn about salad tables at the Spring Garden Day that will be held by the Pine Belt Master Gardeners. It takes place Friday, April 4th at the Forest County office of the Mississippi State University Extension Service. It's located off Hattiesburg, off Highway 49 at the Hattiesburg Fairgrounds. There will be a lot of other topics, including water gardens, earth boxes, small urban gardens. Plant and food vendors will also be on hand. Early registration fee is $10. And Layton, I was talking with Paul Cavanaugh, getting an update. He's now the president of the Pine Belt Master Gardeners. 70 of the salad tables have been built or either funded and yet to be built. They're also able to now to give a $500 scholarship, kind of a thank you gift to the Lamar County Technical Center because of helping them with this. And get in touch with that phone number on the screen and they will get you in touch with them, and they would be glad to have you.
No surprise, there's so much interest in salad tables. Well, time now for today's trivia quiz on Farm Week, and today it's about corn in Mississippi. Mississippi farmers harvested 830,000 acres of corn in 2013. Here's the question: what county had the highest yield? Is the answer Holmes County, Washington County, Sharkey County, or Warren County? I'll have the answer after today's Southern Gardening segment.
What flower color is considered to be one of the most elusive for use in the landscape? Well, the answer is blue. In this week's Southern Gardening segment, Extension horticulturist Dr. Gary "Blues Brother" Bachman shows us some great plant choices having true blue flowers.
Mississippi is known for the blues. For most gardeners, finding true blue flowers can leave them feeling blue. Even though blue flowers are hard to come by, they can be found. In previous Southern Gardening segments, we have shown some cool blue flowers. One of the most popular was blue butterfly plant, whose flowers actually resemble little blue butterflies in flight. Another plant with cool blue flowers is lobelia. This old-timey annual has the reputation of melting away in the summer heat, but not anymore. Lobelia Laguna Sky Blue is a heat-loving selection with powdery blue flowers. And look at this combination of techno-blue lobelia and golden yellow bidens spilling over the edges of this hanging basket. Lobelia flowers have an interesting shape with 3 petals pointing down and 2 small narrow petals sticking up. There are other plants that have blue flowers. Delphinium is a garden classic having iridescent blue flowers on long spikes in the spring. An unusual delphinium is diamond's blue, which produces loose sprays of flowers during the summer months. Another good choice is Mystic Spire's blue salvia that has spikes of deep indigo blue flowers. Blue can be an elusive flower color in the garden, but I know once you start using these in the landscape, you can sit back and enjoy the blues. I'm horticulturist Gary Bachman for Southern Gardening.
Gary says don't plant Lobelia Laguna Sky Blue too early because it is warm-natured. Don't plant it until all the threat of frost has passed.
Well, it's time for the answer to today's trivia quiz on Farm Week. It's about what Mississippi county holds bragging rights for its corn yields last year. Well, what county in the state had the highest average corn yield in 2013? The answer is Holmes County. The U.S. Department of Agriculture said its farmers averaged 189.5 bushels per acre. Sharkey County's yield was second, 189 bushels per acre.
We're going to pause now for a break on Farm Week. Coming up, we'll have the calendar and one more feature story for you. Most people think that logging is about tearing up the landscape in pursuit of trees. Well, you'll meet a South Mississippi logging crew whose reputation for careful work has earned them business.
Each year, many Mississippians are seriously injured or killed when farm tractors overturn. One cause of these accidents is improper hitching. If a tractor is hitched at any point above the drawbar, it can flip over backwards. Never hitch a tractor using the bar between the 3-point hitch upper and lower links or at the top link attachment point. The stationary drawbar is the only safe location for tractor hitching. A message from the Mississippi State University Extension Service.
Before we get back to our last story, let's look at the Farm Week calendar. The New Albany Home and Garden Show is Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th. The location is the Union County Fairgrounds, located on Fairgrounds Circle at New Albany. There will be more than 20 educational sessions and demonstrations, along with many vendors selling lawn and garden products. Woody ornamentals, beekeeping, shade plants, composting, winemaking, and much more will be covered. There's no admission fee. Mississippi State University's College of Veterinary Medicine will hold its annual open house on Friday and Saturday, April 4th and 5th. Location is the Y Center on the south part of the MSU campus in Starkville. April 4th is reserved for pre-registered school groups, with April 5th open to the public. There's no registration fee and the hours are 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be petting zoos, animal shows, veterinary displays, and demonstrations, School groups can still contact CVM to participate in Friday's school day. Go to our Farm Week website at farmweek.msucares.com for information on these and other events. Now check out this week's Farm Week Snapshot.
We step back to the fall of 2009 now for our last feature story today. We revisit Terry Owen of Wiggins, the 2009 Mississippi Forestry Association Outstanding Logger of the Year. He owns Owen Brothers Logging. If you think having high production and multiple logging crews are a prerequisite to winning this honor, think again. They only have one three-man crew in the woods, and the emphasis is on safety and doing a quality job for the landowner, not on high production. Well, it's turned out to be the perfect prescription when recession hit. Our story takes us to northern Hancock County, less than 30 miles from the Gulf of Mexico. Like many loggers, Terry Owen on the right and Jim Ed Owen on the left learned their craft from their dad, Walt Owen, who is standing in the center between them. Terry and Jim Ed left their dad and uncle's company and formed their own logging operation in May 1998. From the beginning, the brothers shared a different philosophy than their dad about logging. It was about having a life outside of the woods. The Owen brothers started small and have remained small on purpose. A local timber buyer they have worked with from the beginning also saw a good reason to cut fewer trees and have a shorter workday.
Well, we came from a high production operation, Owen Logging. I run a crew. We were getting 12, 14 loads a day. My little brother run a crew, and they were doing basically the same thing. And we went to work with Glenn, and you know, he didn't want a high production operation. And coming up, my family, my dad, you know, he was always working, never had time to come see a ball game. And so, you know, I didn't want to be like that to my family.
I saw where quality of work meant a whole lot of repeat business. So we talked, we discussed it, we kicked it around and decided about 6 load a day, 3-man crew is where you need to be. And days when the mills are open longer hours or need more wood, you can up it. But also in hard times and quotas and slow times, you can get by. So it's all about repeat business and the quality of work that brings a repeat business.
In other words, lower production can result in a better job, which can in turn bring repeat business. Timber buyer Glenn Herron supplies the tracts of trees for the Owen Brothers crew to harvest. This job is located in the Nicase-Leetown area of northern Hancock County. The Owen Brothers are doing a selective harvest, a more time-consuming process on a vast longleaf pine plantation. They are doing a stand improvement thinning while removing some of the trees that are suitable to use to make valuable poles.
You can't do it fast. I've got another logger that was working on me right now, and they got 19 loads yesterday. That logger would never work out up here. It's just too high production. This crew here, Terry Owen's crew, they set their sights on about 6 loads a day, which is easy to keep up with as far as marking. They don't get in a hurry.
I find him being so careful with the place. I don't see any litter. It's just he's just done a wonderful job. And can go into some of the places where he's thinned, and it's very clear that the stands have been really improved by his work.
I mark the trees that are selected to come out, and Ronnie Meadows will cut them in. He'll cut the trees down. Jim Owen on the skidder, slowly take his time in getting the skidding trees out in a proper fashion without doing any residual damage to the trees. And of course, Terry on the loader does the product separation.
And we try to treat it like we own. I mean, if it was our property and we wanted to do it the way we'd want it done, so we try to protect the trees and not skin them. And what really, Ronnie, our cutter man, that's where it all starts. And he's been doing it a long time. And he lays the trees where we can, where I can drag them without doing a lot of damage, and then my brother's on the loader and he merchandises out, and that's, I mean, we just try to make everything count, and for the landowner and, you know, for Mr. Glenn and us too.
Nowadays, most of your timber is sold per ton, and so the logger needs to merchandise and try to make the landowner every dollar he can. And you know, a lot of loggers is high production, and they don't take that time to really look at that small chip and saw tree. They might go ahead and put it in pulpwood, you know, or the small log, and they put it in with chip and saw. Just little things like this, and you know, it would help the logger-landowner relationship a little bit.
In addition to seeing logger education improved in the area of merchandising, Terry Owen would like to see the general public have a greater appreciation for the value of wood and the fact that trees are a renewable resource. Owen Brothers Logging is known for respecting the land and promoting use of best management practices. The crew hosted a teachers' conservation workshop on a job site near Perkinston in recent years to explain their work inside a streamside management zone. Both Terry and Jim Ed Owen are fully trained in all modules of the Sustainable Forestry Initiative and follow those principles on every job.
You know, we know to stay back from runs, try to keep debris out, and we're trying to help Mother Nature. And you know, as long as we do that and we keep replanting and we select cut, only clear cut when it's needed. And, you know, that's the only thing I can say. Our future generations will still have trees. You know, they might be in debt from the government over their head, but they'll still have trees.
Terry Owen does wonder who will be harvesting the trees in the future. He thinks there needs to be an organized effort to educate young people about a career as a logger and why it's important to the environment and our economy.
Logging in the 60s and 70s, you was proud to be a part of that. And, you know, you could find folks that wanted to work and enjoyed it. Now, young people don't have interest in this type of work. They want to sit behind a computer or some kind of degree job. What the answer is, I don't know, but the way it's looking 10 years from now, there'll be very few loggers. Nobody wants to get into it. I guess you have to have pine tar in your blood. So.
Terry Owen is a passionate and articulate spokesman for the logging industry. He, along with his brother Jim Ed, truck driver Tim Tanner, and cutter operator Ronnie Meadows are a great example of teamwork and professionalism.
The care and the job that they do is outstanding. And me being in the business as well, you can't say enough for a logger that takes care of each and every tract as if it was their own and has the objectives and goals in mind that a landowner would have, and it's just a valuable asset to have in a logger.
Their crew has been together for a long period of time. They work together really well. They don't do anything unless they can do it safely. They very good about what meeting the landowner's objectives. In fact, a lot of the state tree farmers of the year have specified them to do logging work for them.
Owen Brothers Logging makes a positive contribution to the forest industry in the state every day and has now for over 11 years. The crew also does its work in an extremely safe manner. There has not been one recorded lost time accident since Owen Brothers was formed in 1998. From Hancock County, Mississippi, I'm Leighton Spann reporting. And you can watch this feature story on Owen Brothers Logging at our Farmweek website or on the Facebook page or YouTube channel. That website address is farmweek.msucares.com, and we're also available, as we've told you, at twitter.com/farmweek. And artists, that safety record still holds here in 2014. I talked to Terry Owen.
That's 16 years.
That's right.
Now.
That's right. Extremely safe, and the crew you saw is still intact, same members of the crew. They do have a busy summer ahead. Starting in May, they're going to be working on about a 14,000-acre tract south of Columbia, doing some select thinning and clear cut work.
And that was a beautiful tract they were on that day. And one thing, a little sidebar on this story, Terry Owen, when he was young, Dizzy Dean, the famous St. Louis Cardinals baseball player who retired to the Wiggins area, was his Little League coach.
Another story in itself.
Oh, really? You know, a story. I almost want to go back and do that story as well, but it was great spending the day with them. Well, we are at the end of Farm Week for this week. On our next show, what's that buzzing overhead?
In the future, the odds are good. It will be an agricultural drone. The sky seems to be the limit for these versatile flyers.
Also, see how Mississippi 4-H'ers learn what it takes to put on the Dixie National Quarter Horse Show.
In Southern Gardening, plant zonal geraniums for dependable summer color.
For the rest of the Farm Week crew, I'm Artis Ford.
And I'm Leighton Spann. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.